Please be seated. Good morning and welcome to Chancellor DeBall, members of Reynolds Community College, the Foundation, boards, faculty, students, alumni, honored guests, and from colleges and universities across the Commonwealth and beyond. I also would like to thank Mayor LeVar Stoney for having us here in this fine city of Richmond, and all the elected officials and friends of the college for being here today. My name is Rick Rush. It is my distinct honor to chair the Reynolds College Board and to welcome all of you to this special occasion, the inauguration of Dr. Paula P. Pando as the fourth president of J. Sargent Reynolds Community College. The prologue of our inauguration story begins in the summer of 2018. An unforgettable breath of fresh air blew into Richmond. It originated in the Northeast, New Jersey to be exact, and many of us can remember the moment we felt that breeze and knew it was something, in fact, someone special. Today's investiture of Dr. Pando officially begins the college's next chapter. Reynolds opened its doors to the community more than 46 years ago. Since then, 350,000 students, each with their own remarkable stories, have walked through those doors. From those beginnings, from those bringing greetings this morning, you will surely get a sense of collected enthusiasm. Dr. Jason Sampson, Mrs. Janine McNish, Mr. Kim Schuyler, and Mr. Albert Walker among the chorus of community voices raised in support of our leader, whose dedication to the Reynolds mission invigorates and whose commitment to equality inspires. Thank you for joining us in this celebration of our history and our pursuit of creating an incredible future together, guided by Dr. Pando. Dr. Sampson, please.
Hello, everybody. I was going to thank all the usual suspects, but honestly, looking around this place, I'm just kind of amazed. This is why it takes 7 months to get an inauguration to happen. This looks amazing. Wow. Let's see. I guess the question is, why is an inauguration so important? What is so special about this event? It could be the tradition, right? We're in academia. We have a long history of ceremonies and rituals and regalia. Tradition is important. Then there's just the rarity of the event. I mean, Reynolds is coming up on its 50th anniversary, and we've had 4 presidents. That's pretty impressive. People must like it here. Right? And I'm a historian, so ritual, tradition, rarity, those are all very important, but I gotta be honest with you. What makes this so special to me is what it symbolizes. This inauguration is a new beginning, right? It symbolizes a new beginning for all of us. Over the last 7 months, I've been very lucky. I've been lucky to spend a lot of time with Dr. Pando and work with her, and to put it mildly, I'm excited. I think we're, in a relatively short time, she's really put her stamp on the college, and I think we're on the way to better things. And that stamp that she put on is really great. It demonstrates her commitment to the students, to equity, to access to higher education. I mean, just look at what she's done in the past 7 months, from the food pantry to enrollment services, streamlining committees and administrative structures. Big changes are underway, and as Dr. Pando is often a fan of saying, change can be scary, but it's also really exciting. And though this is Dr. Pando's ceremony, the fact is that it's not just a new beginning for her, it's a new beginning for all of us. So on behalf of the faculty, I would like to welcome Dr. Pando to the Reynolds family and to the beginning of our new start. Thank you.
good. Good morning and welcome, students, faculty, staff, and guests. My name is Janine McNesh, and I am a nursing student at J. Sargent Reynolds Community College. Each student has a unique story that brings them to Reynolds, whether they have come to college for the first time in their family or from another country. Some of us have come to Reynolds after work or after dropping the kids off to school, or maybe they chose Reynolds simply because they're motivated to learn, succeed, and work towards a brighter future together. I am here today to tell you we are exactly where we need to be. Like thousands of other Reynolds students, I am here today as a result of my own unique storyline. Now, I won't spend too much time on the details, but know that this particular story would not be possible without the support of my family, the mentorship of faculty and staff at Reynolds, and a lot of work. And I mean a lot of work. As with everything that goes on at Reynolds, this is about us, students, the faculty, the staff, and administration. And I couldn't imagine a better place to be a student. Reynolds has taught me about growth, about opportunity, and about community. I look out at the faces of the student body and I see a hunger for growth. Reynolds is a place for that growth. Now, no matter where you are or who you are, where you come from, none of us will be the same as we are now than when we walk across that graduation stage. However, Reynolds doesn't just provide opportunities for each of us individually. These opportunities help families. When one person reaches their fullest potential, they carry others with them. With the support Reynolds offers anyone, student, faculty, parent, staff, immigrant, employee, the opportunity to be their best selves. When we come into our fullest selves and we lift up our families, we become a community. And I believe that this is the strongest, most fundamental benefit that Reynolds has to offer. We are a community of people who have fought to find our best selves, and so we know the price of growth. Long nights completing assignments or long hours at work, but through this we became stronger as one. We are a community that understands that support. This is why I'm so excited to be here today to celebrate the inauguration of our new president, Dr. Paula Pando. She is now a part of that community. She knows what we fight for. She knows why we fight. Together, we will strengthen our community, we will invest in personal growth, and we will cultivate diversity at Reynolds. Thank you.
Good morning. Dr. Pando, it is my pleasure to bring greetings on behalf of the business community this morning. As you well know, our business community is united in our concern about the biggest challenge we've faced in years. Our workforce is retiring, and we don't have the pipeline of people with the skills in line to replace them. Economists are starting to talk about hard-to-fill jobs that have a huge impact on the economy. Many of these jobs don't require a bachelor's degree, but instead require a credential, a license, or a certification. And the business leaders also complain about the job candidates they're interviewing don't have the 21st century skills they're looking for. Jobs today are changing so quickly that it's hard for the workers to keep up. It's hard for people to keep their skills fresh, and it's hard for them to move into the new jobs that are created. And we haven't even begun to imagine what the jobs of the future will look like. So how in the world do we train for them? But as united as we are in our concern, we are just as united in our excitement and enthusiasm in welcoming you to the role of President of Reynolds. You reminded me the other day about a conversation we had 6 months ago in the parking lot at Richmond Raceway. You had just finished touring the Mission Tomorrow event where 12,800 eighth graders go through a bunch of displays and learn about job opportunities that exist. And we were having a conversation that day about all the different career opportunities that are out there that students don't know about that create great opportunities for them to have a good life and earn a good living. What I saw in you that day is a leader who recognizes that success in life doesn't necessarily require a bachelor's degree. What it does require is a set of skills that match up with a career that excites the individual. What I saw in you is a leader who recognizes that helping our students find the path to acquire that set of skills is incredibly important. What I saw in you is a leader who recognizes that in order to do that, you have to do three things. You must reach out to the employers and the job creators to better understand what the skill sets are that they need for the jobs that they need to fill. You must have the flexibility to align the college's offerings to better meet the needs of business and the workforce. And most importantly, you must instill a desire for lifelong learning in your students. I know that you understand that when that alignment exists and a student is participating in applied and useful learning, they will feel the reward. You understand that in creating that alignment, you'll inspire in your students a desire to learn and grow and be positioned to take on those jobs we haven't even imagined yet. And most importantly, you understand that in doing this, you are changing lives and livelihoods. Those were your words, not mine. Those are the things that are important. That's the process that's important. So Dr. Pando, we're excited to have you in our community. We're excited to be your partner in this important work, and we are excited about what you will do to inspire your students and prepare our workforce of tomorrow. Welcome to RVA.
Well, I had to chuckle a little bit because when I pulled up in the parking lot and walked in the little room, they gave me a black robe. I see an audience here, and I grew up in the black church tradition, and you gave me a microphone. So, Pastor Martin, I'm not going to preach, but I felt an urge to say good morning to you all. This is a huge honor for me to be invited to speak on behalf of communities across our region. And so Dr. Pando and her team, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf of the communities of our region. I do want to say, though, I'm not sure that her team was fully aware of something unique about me and the college, is that I am the son of a J. Sargent Reynolds Community College graduate. Yeah, you can clap for my daddy. And this is important to me because Dr. Newbill's here. She knew my parents before I was even a thought. But I want to tell my dad's story because I think it really illustrates the power of what community college can do. So my dad grew up on 29th Street and met my mom at a family house party on Fairmount Avenue where my aunt, my great aunt, she still lives there. And this is only 2 blocks away from the construction site of the new kitchens at Reynolds. Now, my dad in the neighborhood, Churchill, was known as Lil Al. And in the 60s, he attended one of the best, some may argue, high school in Richmond, Armstrong High School, and the Armstrong graduates. Can I get an amen for the Armstrong graduates? Consumed with his Lil Al status, he did not finish high school. But after serving in the Army Reserves and starting a family and moving through a series of low-wage jobs in town, he took his GI Bill, attained his associate's degree from Reynolds. Give it up for Reynolds. He went on to Virginia Union University and obtained a degree in social work. And sometime later, he found Jesus, became a preacher, and went back to work in his Churchill neighborhood in one of the early nonprofits in Richmond's East End. Can you all guess who watched him accomplish all this and, like him, went to college and continues in his footsteps working in the same neighborhood? That's me, that's right. The church say amen. So this story is really not about how you can find Jesus and become a preacher and go to Reynolds and graduate, but really it's just to illustrate what the power of a community college education can do. It can, with the spirit of an individual and the right opportunities, shift the course of a family's future. I believe the right opportunities still exist. I believe they exist because we are at an inflection point in our cross-sector work. No other time that I'm aware of where academic institutions like Reynolds are partnering with health institutions like Bon Secours, VCU Health, community developers, philanthropists, grocery stores like the Market at 25th, designing and programming spaces for people across the age continuum, race, and socioeconomic status. Our sectors, you can clap for that. Our sector leaders are keenly aware that place matters and how your zip code affects your health more than your genetic code, but also it affects even more so than your access to health care. It's with this shared understanding we are leveraging our anchor influence with the wisdom of grassroots community leaders to move the needle on some of these intractable issues in our communities and to improve the well-being of our neighborhoods. I'm encouraged by Dr. Pando's investiture because it signifies in many ways a new vision, which I'm sure we'll hear a bit of today, but also a new voice and leadership in our community for our present-day little owls in Richmond and across the region. Thank you.
Give me a second. Thank you, Albert. The inauguration of James Wade Gilley, the first president of Reynolds, was held in 1973, just 4 miles west of here on Broad Street. It was bittersweet coming less than 2 years after the passing of the college's namesake, J. Sargent Reynolds. He proclaimed that the creation by the General Assembly of the Virginia Community College in 1966 was one of the finest acts and finest hours in this century. We are especially honored today to have the members of the Reynolds family in attendance. With them, we carry Sargent's message forward with an echo and a new voice.
I can tell you it was a very exciting time. I worked on the campaign to elect Sarge Reynolds for Lieutenant Governor, and to see how the college named after him continues to promote the principles of fairness and opportunity in which he believed really keeps Sarge with us nearly 50 years later.
Really got to know Dr. Pando when she was participating in the Aspen Fellowship Program. And I will never forget my first conversation with her. She sat to my left at the kind of the top of the table and was just a deep, deep student of leadership and community colleges.
So the Aspen Presidential Fellowship for Community College Excellence, which Paula Pando was part of one of the initial cohorts for, is really about helping presidents and potential presidents develop their perspective on how can they help an entire institution move forward in achieving these goals of talent development and equitable opportunities. We know from our research that the most successful presidents of community colleges are ones who do the work not just because this is the next stage in their career, but because they're deeply committed to achieving goals on behalf of students and the community. And Paula has, as much as anybody I've ever met, that deep commitment.
Paula's commitment to equity is the foundation of who she is. It is the core of who she is. When you hear her personal story, you hear the challenges of the students. that she connected with here at Hudson County Community College when she was here in New Jersey. She struggled as a young Latina trying to get that education. And so she carries that history and that tradition with her, and wanting to make sure that no student, no individual that she works with, that she works for, that works for her, should not have an equal opportunity to get whatever it is that they're searching for.
I had the fortune to meet President Paula Pando last year in the scholarship luncheon. So I had no idea she was Latina, and when she mentioned it, and she even mentioned some Spanish words in her speech, so I was like, wow. I even remember her nickname, Paulita, with this Spanish accent, Paulita. So she finished talking, and I went to her and talked to her, and I said, I'm Latina too, and I feel so blessed you are our president. So every time I want to give up, because I miss my family, because I'm here by myself, like everyone is in Colombia, so there are these hard moments when I want to give up. But I remember that morning, President Paula Pando saying, you can do it, you can fight for it.
Making change is hard, and I think there's a kind of urgency and patience needed. You've got to understand that things don't change overnight, and sometimes those things that change overnight don't persist. On the other hand, you can't wait forever for things to happen. And Paula really embodies that combination of urgency and patience that the best community college presidents have, as revealed by Aspen's research.
What's interesting is that she feels comfortable at Reynolds in putting equity first. That's bold. That's important. That's what the new generation of leaders in community colleges are going to be doing more and more, and she's on the vanguard of that.
Please welcome Dr. Glenn Dubois, Chancellor of the Virginia Community College System, for the investiture of Dr. Pando as the fourth president of J. Sargent Reynolds. Chancellor.
Thank you. Friends, I have some brief and formal responsibilities in today's ceremony. As much as I am here to sing the praises of Paula Pando, I'm also here to say thank you to the great faculty and staff of Reynolds Community College. Our community college system was created 23 years ago to address Virginia's big unmet needs in higher education and workforce. We were, in other words, created to do what no one else would do: give everyone a shot at the American dream. Our mission then and today is both urgent and timeless. Those who adopt that mission as their life's work do so with uncommon passion and persistence. And we expect to find that whenever we seek a new president. When we search for a president, we don't play favorites. In fact, the process begins right here at the community college with meetings focused on the future of this institution. We asked the college to ask some tough questions. Where are we going? What will be our priorities? Who are we? The answer to those questions become the foundation for our search for your college's next president. In this instance, what was a national search generated a pool of over 100 candidates. And we whittled that down to a handful of finalists. And they came to visit the college, where the community got a real good chance to size them up, to kind of kick the tires. And this time around, I believe the process worked extremely well. We found Paula. Now, Paula's history, for those of you that know some of it, like I do, is a uniquely American success story. You see, she was very young when her family came to the United States from Chile. I'm looking forward to meeting her dad and mom. You know, her dad was a professional basketball player in Chile, but decided to come here with a young family for more opportunity. And Paula had to learn a new language and a new culture, and she's excelled ever since. She's built an impressive career as a higher education leader. For more than 21 years, she's focused on helping people find and leverage opportunity, and she is clearly focused on equity. From 2003 until just last year when we hired her, she worked at Hudson County Community College in Jersey City. Among her crowning achievements was the creation of a scholarship program funded by the local government, Mr. Mayor, to benefit undocumented students. Now, that's a dicey proposition these days. Immigration, as you know, is a hot-button issue. No matter where you stand on it, publicly, you're bound to earn critics. But Paula insisted that the mandate of the community college mission is clear: to provide opportunity and hope. And these were the very people in the community who needed it the most. Paula brings that focus right here to Reynolds. Her life experience, her ability to connect with people in multiple languages, and her focus on equity is opening the doors of this college to more new and different communities across RVA. That's going to make us stronger, Paula. And by us, I mean Reynolds, and I mean RVA. The community college game is changing, my friends. It's changing before our very eyes. As birth rates decline, there will be fewer 18-year-olds to serve. In fact, we're going to bottom out in 2026. Now, that doesn't mean we won't have people to help. For every high school senior who will graduate this June, there are at least 13 people in the community between the ages of 25 and 44 who have no post-secondary credential. That means the odds are simply stacked against them, and the chances to find their way into a high-demand field, earning a family-sustaining wage, those chances are slim. I mention all this because I believe Paula represents the next generation of community college presidents. She understands that the needs of the community are changing, but our mandate to address them are not. She understands that those who seek their future here need us to be as much of a social worker as an intellectual sage. Paula really gets that. And soon, with her energy, her vision, and her leadership, I suspect more of RVA will get that too. So, Paula, it's now a pleasure to fulfill my formal part of the program and pass along to you the traditions and symbols of the office of the college president. We honor the longstanding traditions of an inauguration like this by wearing our regalia, and we entrust you with two symbols of leadership, the gavel and a medallion. I'm proud to continue that tradition with you. However, those aren't the symbols I would pass along. Instead, I'll pass along a blank journal, one that doesn't even have lines on the page. Those other items are about honoring the past. The journal, instead, is a reminder that the success story of your time as president of this college remains unwritten and without limits. So, Paula, working with your team, working with your community, that story will take form and grow the way that you collectively see it and the way that you lead it. So make that story a great one. And now, by the authority vested in me as Chancellor by the State Board for Community Colleges, I am excited and delighted to install you, Dr. Paula Pando, as the fourth president of Reynolds Community College. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in formally welcoming Paula Pando.
Thank you. My mother is a woman of great faith, instilling in my brothers and I the importance of gratitude. In all things, hija, be grateful. So in that spirit, let me begin with thanks. Thank you, Richmond Boys Choir. You make this a special day for all of us. Thank you. Chancellor Dubois. I'm so proud to have joined the Virginia Community College system under your legendary, visionary leadership. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for this opportunity to lead. To my peer VCCS presidents, where are you? All right. Thank you for making me feel like family from day one. Thank you. Elected and appointed officials from the city of Richmond and the counties of Henrico, Hanover, Goochland, Powhatan, and Louisa, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. It's a little bit daunting to follow a beloved, long-tenured president, but you have graciously embraced me as a full partner. I truly look forward to working alongside each one of you to provide even greater opportunities for our entire service region. To the Reynolds family, thank you all for being here and for your continued support of the college. As Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, J. Sargent Reynolds was a champion of education. As Captain Rush mentioned, he heralded the creation of the community college system as one of the General Assembly's finest acts and finest hours in this century. And while Sarge's light was extinguished far too early, his legacy remains true. As the youngest of 23 Virginia community colleges, we are known throughout the region by several names: J. Sargent Reynolds Community College, Reynolds, or perhaps with greatest affection, J. Sarge. Regardless, each name bears witness to a great champion of opportunity and all that is good. We wear the Reynolds name with great pride. Thank you again, Reynolds family, for your presence here today. To the Inauguration Committee, I'm so grateful to each of you for your efforts to make this such a beautiful event. Special thanks to all of you, and to my colleagues, Reynolds Community College, faculty, staff, thank you for your support. Thank you for coming along with this journey. Thank you for your willingness to pivot. Thank you for your willingness to follow this crazy Jersey gal on her journey. To the members of the college and foundation boards, thank you for your unwavering support and commitment to Reynolds. Your work on behalf of the college impacts thousands of lives every year. And to our students, you inspire me each and every day. Your stories, your dreams, your hard work, and your oftentimes, perhaps too oftentimes, difficult journeys, you are my North Star. I pledge each and every day to give you my best because you deserve no less than our best every single day. To my family, Jake, Luke, and Isabella, there's no title I've earned that brings me more pride or more joy than the title you gave me, the title of mom. You remain my truest identity, my brightest light, and by far my greatest achievement. To my beautiful and intelligent stepdaughters, Nora, Ava, and Lila, my heart grew just a little bit larger when you came into my life. Thank you so much for being here today. It means the world to me. To my husband and best friend, my partner in all, Eric, thank you for the sacrifices you have made to support me in this important journey. I am clear that I would not be standing here today without your love and unwavering support. To my brothers, Frank, my first best friend. Growing up in small apartments, we probably shared a room for much longer than people would think appropriate. But I would not change our childhood for anything in the world. From learning English together, and of course the curse words are first, to trying to convince our immigrant parents that in America, 16-year-olds celebrate birthdays with 6-foot subs and a keg of beer. It is tradition. We were successful in the convincing. To Danny, our oops baby, who came along nearly 15 years later. I've teased you often about having no social life in high school because I had to take care of you every day after school. But the truth is that from the very first day you came into our lives, you have always been an incredible source of joy for our entire family. I love you both so much. I'm such a lucky big sister. Okay, here's the hard one, Mom and Dad. Simply stated, I owe everything to you. I have no memory of you going out to dinner or doing anything special for yourselves. Mom, I don't remember you ever going out on a shopping spree or buying anything nice for yourself unless it was on the final sale rack. When I think about my childhood, I think about how lucky I was. Yes, our apartment was small. Yes, we didn't have fancy things. And yet, we had everything. You gave up your own dreams and in their place, invested everything you had in your children's future. You made incredible sacrifices in life, leaving your country, your family, your language, your traditions, your friends, everything that you knew and loved for one reason, to give your children the opportunity to realize their full potential in this incredible country. If in any way I am a success story, you wrote the first words of that story, and you have contributed to every single chapter since. The love and respect I have for you is without measure. Mami, Daddy, los adoro. Todo lo que soy es por ustedes. And as we near the end, of Women's History Month, I would like to recognize a few remarkable women who have inspired me and countless other leaders. Dr. Betty Simmons, where are you? Please stand, my friend. I need to see you, Betty. There you are. You have been a friend and mentor for the better part of 20 years. A nationally recognized leader and a pillar of the student affairs profession. You are even more impressive as a human being. Thank you for being here today with me, my beautiful friend. Kathy Habeck. Where is Kathy? Did Kathy come? There you are. A nurse for over 40 years. You have spent your career providing compassionate care, shepherding patients and their families through their most vulnerable moments. 17 years ago, when I was diagnosed with cancer, you cared for me and for my family. And through 6 months of surgery, through multiple surgeries and 6 months of chemotherapy, you are one of the reasons I stand here today, strong and healthy. And through your example, we could learn a lot about the fact that doing your job with empathy, with compassion, and above all, humanity, it's as important as any learned skill, degree, or knowledge. Thank you, Kathy. Dr. Margaret Mcmenamin, please stand. Maggie. At the risk of sounding somewhat like a stalker, I've been watching you for 12 years. I've observed as you boldly put students and their success first and center at Union County College. You've shown the intestinal fortitude, or as we might say in Jersey, the guts, to do what is right every single time. You are one of my professional heroes, and yes, I'm still watching you from afar, and I'm taking notes. Speaking of Jersey, thank you to my New Jersey colleagues from across the state and from my Hudson County Community College colleagues for making the trip to celebrate this great occasion with me. By the way, who's running the college today? There's so many of you here. Mike, I know you're watching today. We miss you, big guy. And to the rest of my wonderful family and friend, the Sari family, the Puga family, all of our family and friends, too numerous to mention by name, who've traveled here to be here with me. I am blessed to have such incredible people in my life. Thank you all for being here. Presidential inaugurations are a defining moment in history of an institution. They mark a transition between the past and the future of a college. Yes, over 350,000 persons have attended Reynolds in its 48-year history. From its humble beginnings at the Sidner and Hundley building on East Gray Street, Reynolds has expanded to meet the needs of the entire capital region, beginning with its first official campus on Parham Road, followed by the downtown campus in Navy Hill and the Goochland campus near the courthouse. Always looking forward, we continue to open our doors to educational opportunity, this time in Church Hill in the city of Richmond's East End. But the story of Reynolds extends far beyond its footprint. The real story of Reynolds is about the commitment to the greater good. The Reynolds story includes thousands of healthcare professionals who care for their patients with skill and compassion. It includes graduates from an American Sign Language program who provide ears and voices to our deaf community. It includes an honors program in which students conduct research and are able to transfer to some of the most prestigious colleges and universities across the country. It includes a middle college program that provides students who've dropped out of high school a pathway to a GED and an industry credential. On this foundation and on this occasion, we look forward to the college's next chapter as it approaches our half-century mark. So where do we go from here? It's been said that a strong democracy depends on an engaged and educated citizenry, not some of its citizens, but all of its citizens. A just society ensures that every person has the opportunity to reach their full potential, regardless of their background or life circumstance. The community college was created to advance that ideal by expanding access to educational opportunity. And in 1965, the Pell Grant was established to ensure that an education could be within reach for even more Americans, regardless of income or social class. These important advancements provided people once excluded from higher education the pathway to more fully participate in this beautiful thing called the American dream. And yet, we know that access alone is not enough. Across the country, too many students leave college without earning a degree or a credential. Most troubling is that the majority of students who leave the college without a degree or credential are doing just fine academically. It's life that got in the way. To quote my friend, Dr. Greg Williams, president of Odessa College, life happens, but life happens more to broke folk. It's true. If my car breaks down, one credit card swipe and perhaps an hour of aggravation is all that it costs me and many of us here today. But for so many of our students, juggling so much, living paycheck to paycheck, where there's more month than check, that one costly car repair can begin the unraveling of a carefully calibrated life. That missed shift at work means I lost a day's pay. The cost of the car repair means I no longer have the money to buy that required textbook. The professor said I can't pass the class without the textbook, and so I dropped the class. In fact, I'm dropping all of my classes. And just like that, for so many students across the country, one emergency can completely and permanently derail them from achieving their goals, from fulfilling their potential. I refuse to accept that in this great country of ours, we can't do better. For too long, we've blamed students for their failure to finish what they started. We say things like, they had too much going on, they weren't serious enough, they weren't college ready, they got financial aid, so what's the problem? But rarely do we ask, what about us? What about me? What did we miss? Yes, we work hard to develop and deliver high-quality academic programs that lead to transfer. Yes, we offer training and credentials that are grounded in real opportunity and connected to jobs with family-sustaining wages. These are very important pursuits, and they're core to our missions as institutions of higher learning. But if we truly care about student success, our role must extend far beyond our academic offerings. Caring about student success means understanding the students we serve and organizing ourselves with their success in mind. Our theme today is equity through action. In the last 7 months, I've had hundreds of conversations with members of faculty and staff across disciplines on all 3 of our campuses. It is so clear that the Reynolds community is deeply committed to our students and their success. Many have shared with me the great lengths to which they've gone to help students who are struggling. However, individual concern alone will not move the needle in a significant or a sustained way. Our challenge and our opportunity is moving from individual responses to a systemic response, finding real solutions and acting on them. It's been said that failure is a feeling before it's an outcome. Each of our policies, procedures, and practices can give a student hope or can take it away. Every interaction a student has with us can either affirm that they belong in college or perhaps confirms the worst they might believe about themselves. As president of Reynolds Community College, I have pledged to work tirelessly in pursuit of better and more equitable outcomes for all of our students, whatever it takes. We are reshaping the student experience, putting more resources at the front line where students need us most. We are dissecting our policies and procedures, identifying the pain points, and we are removing them. We are making significant investments in our faculty as they know our students best and are best positioned to intervene when a student begins to fall off track. We open food pantries on all of our campuses because we know students can't learn if they're hungry. We're partnering with community agencies to better connect students with services that will help remove some of the seemingly insurmountable barriers they face while pursuing a college education. We're also partnering with philanthropic and nonprofit organizations and leveraging our collective resources because we know that together, our reach is more powerful. We will design our approaches for the students we have, not the ones we imagined we'd have while we were in graduate school. These approaches must be responsive and not reactive. inclusive, not divisive, adaptive, not inflexible, and above all, our approaches must be compassionate and never, ever, ever indifferent. Yes, Chancellor, the next chapter of Reynolds Community College has yet to be written. We will define our path with equal parts care and urgency, grounded in the knowledge that what we do matters, and what we don't do matters just as much. Strengthening lives and communities through the transformative power of an education. I can't think of a more noble purpose in life. It's my profound honor to stand before all of you here today and pledge with a full heart my dedication to this great college, to this remarkable community, and to this most noble purpose. Thank you all so very much.
Good morning. Dr. Pando, I've got to say that was one of the most inspirational speeches that I've heard anyway. It probably is the most. Well done and congratulations. All I can say is I wish I would have gone before you, not after you. But my job is to give the closing remarks, so there's no other spot for me. My name is Sarge Reynolds, Jr., and it's certainly a great honor to be invited as a representative from the Reynolds family to participate in today's ceremony. I asked Bess Littlefield if 30 minutes would be sufficient for my comments. She paused for a moment, and her typical quiet and polite demeanor suggested to me that short and sweet would work. Bess reminded me that I'd be the last person standing between the audience and lunch, so short and sweet it shall be. First, I thank you, Chancellor Dubois, for asking me to serve on the search committee that ultimately identified Dr. Pando as their top choice and the ideal person to lead Reynolds into the next chapter of its amazing history. I applaud Dr. Dubois for agreeing with the committee's recommendation by selecting Dr. Pando to be Reynolds' fourth president. There were many impressive and well-qualified candidates, but I was thrilled that Dr. Pando was selected and that she accepted the Chancellor's offer and packed her bags, family, and pets to embark on the long and congested white-knuckle drive down I-95 to Richmond. I'm confident that Dr. Pando's bright vision and hard work will lead Reynolds to even greater heights. In what I believe has been 46 or so years, I guess I heard today it's really 48, Reynolds has had only 3 presidents: James Gilley, Bud Burnett, and Gary Rhodes. These 3 presidents successfully executed their own vision for the college, enjoying very long, successful tenures. Speaking with Dr. Pando and listening to her address various audiences on several occasions, I sensed her enthusiasm and passion for where she wants to take the college, and we certainly heard that in your remarks. I'm excited for her and the college as she embarks on her journey to take what is and always has been a very strong academic institution with a great reputation to an even higher level. And I want to pledge to all of y'all today my family's continued commitment to this great institution as the college moves forward. We are as committed to Reynolds as ever, and again, we reaffirm that commitment today. The family looks forward to working closely with Dr. Pando and her team as the college expands upon its great legacy. I'd like to thank the mayor for being here today. I thank our distinguished guests from other colleges and universities who took the time out of their busy schedules to attend this very important occasion. I also thank everyone who brought greetings, with particular thanks to the Honor Guard and the Richmond Boys Choir. Thank you all so much. Y'all are outstanding. To Dr. Pando, the Reynolds College leadership, faculty, and staff, we all know that there are always many issues to deal with on a daily basis. However, in order for the college to boldly move forward, I strongly urge all of you to work closely together. I am confident that by working together with a common vision, that Reynolds' best days are well within reach. I also want to say that if my father, the college's namesake, were alive today, he would be so proud of what this great institution has accomplished over the past 48 years. My father would be equally as proud and optimistic for what lies ahead for Reynolds. My father would agree with all of us here today that Dr. Pando is the right leader at the right time to help Reynolds write its next chapter. I will conclude my comments to you with, in my opinion, one of my father's most meaningful and impactful quotes. And I quote, "As young people, you must never make the mistake to think that time is on your side. Time is on nobody's side. So while you have the chance in the time of your life, live and enjoy it, so that in the wondrous time, you shall not add to the misery and sorrow of the world, but shall smile to the infinite delight and mystery of it." Again, thank you all so much, and I wish you all well.